In 3, 2, 1. Wow, closest we've been in a while, but not quite. Episode 154. We're back, and it's actually, for the listeners, I don't know if it will feel much different or not, but what we're going to do differently here is we have Ethan, shout out Ethan, will be live producing the episode. And the idea with this is it should make it a little bit easier for us to pull up clips, to do some coaching wanted inside of the app, to reference visuals on social media, or just clips that we want to react to in general. Just make this podcast a bit more visual. So for those listening, I'll just more dynamic. We'll do our best to talk about what the heck we're looking at for those of you that are just listening, but that will be different. So if you hear a third person chiming in today and you're like, wait, hang on, what's going on? It's Ethan. He will be doing this every episode moving forward. And sort of we use the analogy of him being our Jamie, like Jamie is for Joe Rogan. So in the background, helping pull up clips, but also giving opinions and becoming a part of the conversation here and there. But episode 154, we're going everywhere. We've got an early bird special ending for 5-day camp in Brona Oaks. Where the heck is Brona Oaks? San Diego. Near San Diego in California. And that early bird special ends on September 23rd, which is coming up. So don't wait. What the early bird special means for those ones is that you can save $240 off of your sign up. So if you're even thinking about going, sign up, save that money. And don't wait. The day that we're recording this, I'm pretty sure that tomorrow, it'll have come and gone by the time this episode releases, but tomorrow, the early bird special for 74MX in Punta Gorda, Florida, that one will have ended. So hopefully you guys took advantage of that money savings.
These camps, every place you keep talking about, I'm like, ooh, I like that. That location sounds dope. San Diego, AJ, you know I'm not a big Cali guy, but that area, amazing.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of what we're going for with the 5-day camps is I want to pick spots that are cool. And for the single day classes, no offense, not that a lot of these places we're going aren't cool, but the idea was let's go everywhere, right? So we're just trying to hit every region with the single day classes. But for the 5-day camps, I'm really trying to just pick a spot within a region that all of the family wants to go to, the wives, the kids, the siblings, and the grandmas, the grandpas, everybody that goes along and can make a week vacation out of this thing. So Brona Oaks is sweet because it's like 30 minutes from San Diego. It's very, very close to everything that you'd want to go to, the beaches, the airport. So it's super convenient, which is cool. Yeah, I'm excited. That one will be, no idea. Is that one in March, Ethan, or February? When is that one?
Brona Oaks would be February. Yeah, I think it's early February,
Yeah, so don't wait. Get signed up for that. And then for tour dates for single day classes, we're going to Berm Benders in Minnesota. We've got Temple Hill in Canada. We've got Paradox in New York, TV Land in Ohio, HLO Motorsports in Missouri, Mecosta in Michigan, Airway Heights in Washington, and Area 51 in New York. So, and that's going to be with all of the coaches. So we've got Coach Ty, Coach Mitchell, and myself out there floating about. We've had more students this year than I've ever seen that have gotten some really good sessions with Mitchell and with Ty. And then we're coming to see me after seeing those guys this year already. And the feedback has been overwhelmingly positive, which is cool. It feels consistent. It feels like the Moto Academy, right? But you get different teachers are going to gel with different students. I think, Dave, you mentioned it all the time, like Mitchell gels really well with that younger audience. I still think, considering I'm the oldest coach by a long shot, I think I get along and teach the young ones really well as well, especially having Millie now. But Mitchell really, really clicks with those guys. And then Ty clicks with different types of riders too. I think Ty is really good right now at clicking with the faster demographic.
Same.
And can keep the attention of the B class racers and the A class and the pro guys really well, in the fast 65s and 85s. So it's like every teacher has a bit of a different
for sure
dynamic. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
And hey, speaking of different teachers, Dave, we just had Dylan Wright at a class.
I want to hear every bit about that, dude. I'm such a huge Dylan Wright fan, and not many people understand how dominant this guy is. So the fact that you're able to have him in the Moto Academy and be able to introduce him maybe to like a crowd that may not know. But yeah, to have Dylan Wright teach you in a class, dude, I am so grateful to be part of TMA, but I am so freaking angry that this was not around when we were on 85s. AJ Cat, could you imagine training with half the guys that all of the TMA individuals get a chance to train with?
You can flip the TV on and watch them, and then you can go and train with them.
It's insane
during the week.
It's so cool, but I am so freaking pissed, dude. This could have been gold. I had to buy DVDs and just sit there watching people talk to me about now I can just hop online, buy a class, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go hang out with freaking AJ Cat, Dylan Wright, maybe Cade Clayson will pop in. We'll see. It's light work,
Well, you know what's surprising? You know what's surprising? Speaking of the 5-day camps, we're going to get some really, really fun people to show up midweek for those ones. I don't know if we've mentioned that just yet, but we're going to go all in with the guest instructors. I've had some really fun conversations with tour manager Al. He's going to start hopping on that, and we're going to have fun guest instructors at every single one of those camps. But what was interesting about Dylan is that a lot of people, I would say the majority of the people at this class didn't know who he was. Right. So, and I think that I'm not surprised by that, because in the US, we tend to focus on kind of the US and the US only. We're definitely a bit guilty of that. So I had to kind of hype him up a little bit and just tell people like, hey, I not hype him up because they just weren't pumped that he was there. But hey guys, this is the fastest person maybe ever from Canada. Like absolutely no joke. The only negative was that, and I didn't know this because I don't pay attention to anything clearly, he hurt himself at Budds Creek. And I don't know if that was common knowledge and people knew that, but yeah, he was hurt and couldn't ride. So this will be the only class that he had to show up in just casual clothes and teach. I think having your gear on and demonstrating adds a whole different cool factor to it. Sure. But he was just decked out. Moto Academy hat, Moto Academy t-shirt, white on white Moto Academy hoodie. I mean, he had the full kit. He had the full kit.
Like that. He's a cool guy, man. Dylan's such a cool dude.
He's just like Cade, and he's a real person.
Yep.
He's a real person. He's the same person, and whether he's standing next to Jet Lawrence or he's standing next to a C-class rider that is their first time on a dirt bike track, and that doesn't change. And I think that that's obviously what we go for at the Moto Academy is we want to be relatable and personable at every single level. And he's just that. And the reason I had to kind of like hype him up and tell people who he was is because you would never know. I mean, you would never know. He just showed up to this class humble, ready to just work his butt off and make these people a little bit better. He's big time into it. So we went to Joliet MX, which is in Illinois.
Yep.
So we both
Give me your thoughts.
into.
What are your thoughts on the track? I want to.
You've been there, right?
The track. Oh, many times. That's so okay. Mary's parents' house is about 30 minutes like north of the track. So when we go visit them, I'd bring my bike and freak her parents out because they think motocross is the most dangerous thing in the world. And we'd hit up Joliet, dude. And like, I have my opinion, but I think it's one of the sickest tracks like you can ride in the Midwest. It's a really cool layout, good dirt. I raced with Josh Hayes, Superbike champ at that place.
Oh, that was there. That's right. Yeah.
That was there. Yeah. Some dude just ran me through a corner. I'm like, who the frick is this guy? And like rides away. And I'm like, is that Josh Hayes? It was crazy. Ran me over and everything. But yeah, cool track, man.
Ran me over.
That's
cool
happened
track.
a lot. I get ran over a lot by people, man. I don't know if it's a Dave thing or
you know, that's what happens. That's what happens out there, Dave. If you're not careful.
I know.
If you're not training with the Moto Academy, you just get run over.
Just look like one big brown whoop or something to people.
Man, the dirt looks nice out there.
Man, the dirt is nice, great, dude.
Like, kind of like chocolate cake.
Somebody say chocolate cake.
Chocolate
Jinx.
Chocolate cakes.
Man. But yeah, the dirt there is awesome. Zach, who is the son of the owner, awesome, really good rider, and I think he trains people there as well. So if you're just looking for a one-on-one setting at that track or near that area, I would put my trust into Zach. I haven't seen him train, But just in speaking with him and having him shadow us at our classes a bunch and watching him ride, he's a really good rider, great kid. I say kid, but he's probably older than me. And his dad is super nice. I don't know his dad's name, but the owner, super nice. So good family that owns it, which is always cool. The dirt is great. Ruts up, awesome. Not any rocks. The jumps are built really fun, and I think it's one of those tracks where Zach probably is the one who builds it, if I had to guess. And with him being a faster rider, he understands build some bigger jumps, and it'll be safe, but it'll also be fun for everybody. I think some of these tracks try to make the jumps safe. We talked about this before, and they just make them too small, and then they just become more dangerous. They're not fun for the fast guys, and then they just become more dangerous for everybody because they're too inviting and they're too short and steep, so your suspension doesn't have time to do its thing, and it just kicks you over the bars. So the jumps were a blast. Track conditions were awesome. It started a little bit windy, but then the wind kind of died out within the first hour or two, which was great. We had a sold out class, so we had 42 bikes. Really good split of... We probably had 5 or 6 that had never been in a track ever. We had maybe like 9 or 10 50s, which was the most 50s I've seen at a single day class in quite some time. And then we also had maybe like 3 or 4 pretty darn fast big bikes. We had some Moto Academy athletes there. So we had Weston with the Moto Academy helmet on,
nice.
which is cool. So those guys have kind of been showing face absolutely everywhere I go. Every class I go to, there's a Moto Academy helmet at the class, which is epic. Weather was perfect. It was like 75 degrees, which is, I don't know if it gets much better riding weather than that, to be quite honest.
Doesn't.
And sold more tour shirts, Moto Academy t-shirts, and boonie hats than I sold at a single day class all year long. So if you live in Illinois, I'd expect to just be seeing a bunch of Moto Academy merch floating around absolutely everywhere. Dylan couldn't believe it. We left and he's like, oh my God, how many people just bought things? There was a line for forever after class, which is super cool. Yeah, so it was a great group of people, solid day. No big crashes. We had I think it was this class. They're all starting to have the Oregon one blending together with this one. Pretty sure we had a 72-year-old there. Or no, it's not 72. He was 70. Killed it. He was on a Husky. Great technique. Stood the whole time. And then we had a 62-year-old there. And we had maybe 1 or 2 that were above 50 as well. So we had all the a bunch of girls. We had every single key demographic that we would ever want at one class.
That's so sick. Love
that.
We're starting to get really good spread of people, which is cool. I feel like it's really rare to see an occasion where you have such a diverse spread outside of something like a bigger, like regional race or a bigger, like a bigger event. You know what I mean? Like you really don't get the chance to see the full spread of like all the demos of Moto. Like that's really unique.
Well, especially for a training class. I think that people,
for sure.
That's a very hard thing to make work because you have to have a very, very, very solid system in place to be able to accommodate. Yeah. When I first started training, I mean, having 1 rider and then going to 2 and then going to 3 and then 4. And even when you get to 2 or 3 or 4, it becomes really complex because people have different needs, right? When you have 40 there, that's a different ballgame. You got to be really, really good at what you do. So thankfully, we're the best at the Moto Academy, Dave Drakes. We are just not a competition. It's creativity. We're not in competition. But
we're not.
But it's just far and none. Just absolutely the best. So
love that.
Yep. So yeah, Dylan Wright class, epic. He'll be back for another one. I think the next one with him is Gopher Dunes, which is sweet. First time stopping at Gopher Dunes. I've heard amazing things about it. I've never been.
Same. Honestly, the Canadian national tracks. This is my like PSA to everybody. If you are a motocross fan, please tune into the Canadian series because it's such a cool atmosphere. The tracks are awesome. The racing is amazing. Commentators are always great. They've been that way for a long time. Check it out because like AJ's talking about, Gopher Dunes is iconic. And they've got a lot of cool iconic tracks up there. Like I'm thinking like Walton, you name it, dude. There's just really amazing facilities up there.
Yeah, I even think that was Temple Hill on our schedule. I want to say Temple Hill might be a pro round, or it was a pro round as well. When we go to Wild Rose in Calgary, Pro Round, epic location. I mean, it has the city skyline of Calgary is in the background, which doesn't even seem like it would be possible. There's some really, really underrated, good tracks up in Canada, and underrated good riders that nobody in the US knows about. Dylan Wright being one of them. I think a lot of people know about Dylan, but there's definitely many that don't. So I can't wait till he has his gear on and he rides that class, and people are going to be like, what the heck? This guy's better than AJ.
This guy's really good. Do you have a favorite Canadian rider that's come out of like Canada out of the last however long, 50, 40, 30 years that you're really like, man, I really love that rider?
Well, there was another kind of OG dominant Canadian. Was it Fasciati? Is that how you said his name? Colton Fasciati.
Colton Fasciati. Yeah. That was my pick. So yeah.
I remember being a fan of him because he was down at GPF and MTF, one of the two, when I was down in that area. So getting to watch him ride, and I want to say maybe he had a Red Bull helmet at one point. So I was like at that age where I just thought that was so cool, like watching him. And I'm like, who is this guy? And then I realized that he was the top Canadian dude, and I don't know, like I'm pretty sure he wore a Fox gear too at one point. And it just looked factory. And I'm like, and he was ripping. I'm like, that guy's cool.
I love that.
Oh, and then you want to know who else was down there too?
Yeah. Who's that?
Medallias. So
really?
What the heck are their first names? Yeah, Tyler and
I only know Tyler. I think I raced Tyler, but I don't know the other.
They were both very fast.
They rode New England a lot too.
Yes. Tyler, crazy amount of bike skill. I remember the first time that I saw Medaglia ride. I hope I'm saying that right. Tyler Medaglia. I used to say Medaglia. Sounds better.
The G may be silent, but well, it's dependent.
Who knows?
Who
knows? First time I saw him,
in silence.
He was doing a sit down first gear slow speed wheelie over the entire rhythm section on the Supercross track, all the way through it. I'm very good at wheelies. I definitely can't do that. All the way through the rhythm section, super easy. I was like, whoa, who is this guy? And he was always super cool, really funny dude, and extremely good. I think he's still racing, right? I feel like I still see his name floating around.
I haven't tuned in like I should, and I haven't heard the name in a while. So I could be wrong.
He retired 12 years ago, and I just didn't know.
Yeah, you and Tony, dude. You and Tony are just lost, just stuck in 2009 for Moto.
Yeah. We're all stuck in 2009 for Moto. I mean, anybody that's 32 years old, we're still stuck in just 2009. It was the year.
I know.
My 09 Cowie 450 with 550 hours on it. Never got a top end. Speaking of working on bikes, Ethan, do you want to pull up the graphic? I don't know if you can easily access that in the notes or not. But Dave, I just saw this in our Instagram stories, and I don't know if I'm a little bit of a prima donna or a little bit privileged to be able to be surprised by this, but holy cow, this is a lot of clicking going on.
Dude, this is so cool, man. EQ, you're the man, EQ.
Look at this. Do you work on your bike? Is he going to click into us and give us the percentage here?
I don't know if it'll let me on Instagram on a computer, maybe.
So
no, I know it was 90% yes with the screenshot from before.
It's 91% yes, 9% no. Do you work on your bike? So either there's 90% of these people, 9% of these people are just their bikes are getting no bike work done, or they're hiring mechanics. But I was surprised to see that stat. 91% of people work on your bike, 9% no.
Really?
Are you surprised to see that stat, or are you not surprised to see that?
I'm not surprised, to be honest with you. And there's varying levels of it too. Some people may be like, yeah, I put, change the air filter, clean it, check chain, change the lever here or there. That could be it too. But I'm not that surprised, man. Honestly, dirt bikes are expensive. If you go to a dealer in a shop, that's expensive. If you want to ride quickly, you got to pay extra cash to be able to, grease the mechanic a little bit to get your bike out first. So yeah, I mean, I think people are going to get creative and work on their stuff. And if you're like me, I enjoy it, man. It's like a stress reliever to go out in the garage, wash the bike, do a filter, just do some pack some bearings or something, dude. It's relaxing to be able to work on my bike a little bit. Maybe I'm a weirdo, whatever, but I'm not super surprised to see that, you know?
Interesting. Okay, that might be a good follow-up one for tomorrow, Ethan. Okay, 90% of you said you do your own bike work. How many of you enjoy it?
Yeah.
That'll be an interesting one.
I will say I work on my own bike, and I can agree with Dave. It is a stress reliever, but at the same time, it is a stress adder.
Yeah.
Something goes wrong, it's like the weight of the world is on my shoulders, right?
Yep.
So, yeah, not the most fun, but I've done 99% of my bike work since probably I turned 18. Dad kind of put his hands up, and it's been off to the races ever since. I haven't had any issues yet, other than when Ty works.
So I'm in the I'm in the rarefied air where I just do none, never have. So, and even the times where I was at these training facilities, stuck basically by myself with not really any money, I would still like barter, or I would find like a little kid that was on 65s or 85s that knew how to do his own filters, where I'd just be like, can I pay you $10 to wash my bike and do my filters?
Oh, AJ.
That's what I would do.
Dude.
Hey, what do you mean? That was they were pumped, making extra money. And I would do it with like, even the last time I went to club, this was maybe 4 years ago when I stayed with Ross O'Connor for a little bit. Same thing. Ross, let me toss you a couple bucks. Wash my bike, do my air filter, do my oil, because I'm not going to, when I get off it, I don't want to look at it. I know that seems bad, but I don't know. It's just like I never learned when I was young, and I didn't learn when I was young because my parents were divorced. And I lived with my mom. So my dad would pick me up, go riding after school, and then drop me off at my mom's house.
Yep.
And so I only rode the bike, and then that was it. And I think what I did see of the bike being worked on throughout the day, like my dad tightening and adjusting chain tension 5 million times throughout the day.
I was going to say 1,000 times.
Yeah. Or checking my air filter 500 times throughout the day. It was always in such a stressed, anal retentive way that I think I was turned off by that, even where I'm like, no, that seems difficult and I'm not gonna learn. And so I never did. I never did. And I don't think, I don't want to be closed-minded, Dave, but I don't think I ever will.
I get that. I mean, yeah. He's right. Yeah, not by probably half, but I get it. Like, same thing for me, AJ, but I think the one difference is I liked working on the bike a little bit. So my dad, especially on like when I had like 85s and like super mini 125s, it's really hard to mess up anything, you know, like especially if you're just doing maintenance. I wasn't doing like top ends and pulling it down and framing a bike. It was like regular maintenance, check your spokes, chain, air filter, watch dad, have dad help me change the oil, stuff like that. So I think that was fine. Once I got on 4-strokes and we started like really being like a title contender for like the indoor series, and you can start running top 5 in B class and all that other stuff, winning races, Tony was like, you don't touch this bike. Like, we are sending suspension out. You don't touch it. If there's something really critical with it that my dad couldn't do because he was busy, went off to a pro mechanic, but he's like, you do not touch this bike. And then once I hit 18, he's like, kind of like EQ, you're on your own, you know? So it was a weird up and down for me, kind of.
At what point did your parents stop supporting financially the dirt bike stuff?
I was probably 19. I think my dad got me my 09 450 in 2010, and he was like, this is the last thing I'm gonna buy you. You've been working on your bike for a little bit. This is it. Enjoy yourself, have fun, enjoy college, you know? That was kind of it right there. Yeah.
So 19,
it was a slow,
Ethan, do you remember
gradual.
for you?
I believe it was 19 or 20. My dad had bought me a YZ 125, and then after that, it was, I'll buy the bike, you're responsible for the rest, and I just bought my own first bike this year. So
cool. So the Honda,
like 2-3 years,
the brand new Honda was your first purchase of your own dirt bike wise.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, first bike purchase and big bike purchase, I guess you could say. So
let's go.
It was actually pretty cool feeling to do that.
Let's go.
What about your car? Did your dad buy or your parents buy your car, or did you have to buy that car?
Ooh.
My mom bought the car, which I'm very fortunate of. I've always paid the insurance, so it's not like I got a free car, but yeah, my mom helped me buy the Civic, which is basically a Rolls Royce. In case anybody's
shout out Honda Civic. How many miles did it have when you got it?
150. So
What's
in the last 5 years, 230. So I put 80,000 miles on the last like 4 years. Yeah.
Ooh.
I do. I did a lot of freelance when I first got the car, and I was doing asynchronous college. So if I wasn't at home doing schoolwork, I was in Newark, New Jersey, shooting a music video, or up in the middle of nowhere shooting dirt bikes. So cars seen some miles.
You know what's Dave, weird? Really quick, AJ. EQ brings up a good point. I think you were the same way, AJ. I noticed that my little brother, right? He's 19, doesn't go anywhere. My dad buys him like really nice cars, doesn't go anywhere. When I got my license, dude, you couldn't keep me home. Like I wasn't out doing anything crazy, but like, dude, I was bouncing around to all my buddies' houses, going to tracks. Like I kind of like EQ. I think I put on like 80K in like 2-3 seasons, dude. I was just always gone. And I feel like that's kind of changed now. Would you say?
Well, what was your first car situation look? What did your first car situation look like?
I remember this because you thought I was crazy. I had a 1992 Dodge Dakota pickup. It revved to about 20 grand before it shifted. It had the tiniest wheels, one mirror, no sound system. But I bought it. I saved enough money. I think my dad or my mom chipped in like $200 towards it. And dude, it was a piece of junk. I remember I thought I was so cool driving to school that this girl on my street, this little smoke show, was like, "Hey, can I get a ride home?" And I'm like, "All right, David Drakes, here we go. Don't mess this up. You're in the big show. We can do this." My truck was main event time. My truck was so loud and so like just a beater that she asked me to let her out halfway through. She's like, "Can you just let me out here?" And I was like, "Oh no." She's like, "You don't have a radio?" And I was like, "No." She's like, "It's really hot in here." I was like, "Yeah, my radiator doesn't work." It's gonna blow up any second. So yeah, that was my first, dude. And I was so grateful for it. I worked my butt off to like keep it running, and like I had like a rattle can paint job, and eventually put like a sound system in it and stuff. But dude, it was rough for a while.
Builds character.
Yeah. Now you see why I love my Ram, dude. I'm like, this is amazing. All my door locks work, and I have reverse. Dude, I'm like, I'm keeping it, dude.
And going back to the original conversation there, as far as age at which you were paying for stuff on your own, I think for me it was really young too. And I always wonder what I'm going to do with Millie. So for the dirt bike stuff, my dad sort of like wiped his hands clean pretty quickly. I want to say when I went down to MTF and GPF at first.
That's what I was going to say, yeah.
To live by myself, I was like 14.
Yep. Yeah.
And
I was going to say around arena cross time.
He was still supporting then. He was sending me like maybe $100 or $200 a week to try and like buy my oil and fuel for the bikes for the week. And then as soon as arena cross started, I think everything stopped completely. Any financial support at all, I think. So that would have been 15 years old, which is really early. Now, thankfully I had sponsors, but I was the one, there was nobody. That's actually kind of wild if you think about it. So no wonder why I had tattoos when I was 14 years old. It's because I was just 10 years ahead of the program.
Wait, EQ, this kid doesn't tell anybody, shows up to the track with Cat and Zorro on his back. And we're like, what is it? And it's like
Southwick. I remember Southwick. I showed up and I got it the day before.
Prison tat font. It's like prison tat font, dude. And we're like, and we're like kids. We're like, dude, what is this? Like, what are you doing? And it's like nothing happened. Wasn't showing it off or nothing. Just showed up, took his shirt off. We're like, ew.
The kids nowadays would call that aura, Dave.
Dude, yeah,
dude, 14, not that, and that's horrible for those listening. Now, but yeah, 14 years old, that is insane. But I think it just kind of felt normal because at that point, like I was sort of doing my own thing. I was living without my parents. I was like kind of functioning completely by myself. And then first vehicle, right when I got my permit, I was so ego driven then that the only thing that mattered was looking cool, right? So the most important thing in my life at that point was trying to get a cool vehicle, like a dum-dum.
Tell EQ what it was.
I remember my grandma loaned me a couple $1,000s to make the down payment on it. And I paid her back really quickly because I went to Germany to race Supercross, and I got a couple podiums over there and did really well. And at that point, the euro was like 1.5 the American dollar.
Oh,
so nice. I wouldn't make much, but maybe I'd make $4,000. And I'd come back and it was $6,500 or something like that. And I was going back and forth. So I paid off that truck pretty quickly. It was a 2005 Ford F-150 Lariat. And I just thought I was the shiz. Put a lift on it, 33-inch Nito mud grapplers, I think they were, probably, with 20-inch wheels, put a sound system in it, thought I was the coolest kid on planet Earth. And now that, I guess the positive with that rolled into another negative is that I traded that truck in at a dealership to get my Evo 10 when I got my brand new Evo. And I bought that truck.
I'm sorry. I just can't, dude.
Dude, I mean, can you believe how stupid I was for so many years?
Yeah.
And so I buy a brand new Evo. At least the truck was used. Buy a brand new Evo for, at the time, it was like $40,000, which was like might as well have been $1 million. And now the positive is that they gave me $15,000 for the F-150, which is what I had bought it for, which I couldn't believe. Now I lost the money on the wheels and the lift and all that, but
yeah, still
I drove it for a couple of years and traded it for the same amount. Yeah, then got an Evo like a dum-dum. Yeah, but I was, I guess, paying for stuff when I was 15, which was helpful because by the time I was 17, 18, I'm doing everything on my own. I'm doing all of my own budgeting and trying to figure out sponsor budgets and building programs. By the time I'm 21, 22, I am pretty advanced at it. Without knowing, like I just had so much experience at that point. And now by the time I'm 32, that's why I'm a CEO of a business that's doing really well, is because I've done all the things. Yeah.
No, I think there's something to be said for having that responsibility early, and what you said about like what you're gonna do with Millie. I think we've talked about this with Maeve, dude. I want to be there as like training wheels for her, but I kind of want her to step out on her own a little bit, like when it comes to financial responsibility. I want her to stumble a little bit and be like, yeah, well, you missed a payment, this is what happens, now you know, so that when you're 30 and you have a mortgage, now you know the repercussions, and you're not going to make that mistake again. But yeah, I kind of want her to like have to, I don't want to put her through like the whole like 8 Mile and like have her struggle like that, but I'm saying I want her to have just a little bit of like added responsibility and a little bit more expectation, so that she can be successful when she's a young adult.
Yeah, part of me, and this will definitely, I'm sure, evolve as she gets older, but if you were to ask me right now, I would say that I would want her to have complete financial autonomy, no help, period, financially. Now, we will be there to help her in these next
emergencies,
infinite amount of years to become the person that she will be. There won't be emergencies. I mean, she's going to be a genius by the time she's 16 years old. The amount of time that we spend around her, the amount of conscious attention that we give to her, she's going to be so high level that she's not going to need any help, but we'll always be there, and she'll know that we'll always be there, so that she doesn't have to ever act desperately or make a bad decision because she's just, desperate to make something happen. There won't be that. But I definitely will not just give things to her. I guess the only, I don't know if this is negative or positive, but like by the time she's 16 or 18 or whenever you would be able to access a 529 account, she's going to have a lot of money in a 529 account. But I think that by the time that happens, I think we could still use it for ourselves, maybe, or we could take it and just pay a fee. Because I don't want to give her any amount of money at any point. And maybe, yes, that could pay for her education, but I don't see a reality right now, at least, where she would ever go to a college unless it were a hyper specific skill set that she needed. Like, I don't know if she were going to be an astronaut, like, okay, we'll pay for your astronaut school. But I don't know.
At astronaut university. Yeah.
Well, she's got to be an
That's
astronaut
funny.
because Moto Academy Moon will definitely be a thing in 16 years.
And
So-
will still happen before Moto Academy Africa. I just want to put it
Yeah.
out there. AJ will go to Mars before he ever sets foot in Africa for a TMA class, dude. Anarchy.
Oh my God. Well, isn't Africa what took out, there was a rider that got sick. I think he got malaria and then died. Tiger Lacey.
Really?
Have you heard that story? I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
No, I mean, I know I've heard of Tiger Lacey, but what happened?
I think this could be totally wrong, and I hope it's not. I think that he went to Africa and he went somewhere to race and got sick and died. I'm pretty
Really?
sure. I'm pretty sure that totally could be wrong. Oh wait, we have somebody to look it up now, so we can always we could be accurate.
So this is the Racer X, but it doesn't really give too much on it. It just says Racer X is saddened to report the passing of longtime privateer Tiger Lacey. Oregon native passed away yesterday due to a reported sudden illness. So that does somewhat line up. It doesn't give too many specifics, but that sounds on par.
Yeah. So that's why, Dave. Sorry, man.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, that's the reason. Yeah, it's a little dark there. Anyway, moving on.
That's why. Speaking of avoiding sicknesses, this episode is sponsored by LMNT. And for gosh sakes, just like I say, people, if you're not in the app yet, how are you listening to this podcast and not in the app? How are you listening to this podcast and haven't tried LMNT yet? I've got some grapefruit in here as we speak, mixed super light because all I've done today is absolutely nothing. So definitely play around with the mix, learn how much sodium, potassium, magnesium that you need for a given situation. But if you sweat a lot and you ride moto, naturally you're going to sweat a lot. Hydrate with this stuff. Healthy, has all the electrolytes you need, nothing that you don't. And it's helped our team survive for probably the last, how long have I been drinking LMNT? At least 2 years, probably going on 3 at this point. And I've fumbled around before that, trying different electrolyte mixes and different store-bought products. Before that, I just drink regular water because I didn't know better. You can't just drink regular water if you're an athlete of any sort. Even if you're just casually going to the dirt bike track, you need to have a mix. So go to drinklmnt.com/AJCat330. You can try 4 of their top flavors with your order. And if you use that link, please use that link because it supports, it lets them know that we're supporting them. And they are our only partner, basically official partner at this given time. We're signing another partnership here in the near future with another brand, which we'll announce soon. But right now it's just about only LMNT. And we're very loyal to them. So use that link, drinklmnt.com/AJCat330. Commercial break, Dave. How'd I do?
Did good, buddy. Did good. I mean, I want you to hop on the lemonade train, but like your boy. But it's all good. It's all good.
Well, I'm always out of
drinking it.
Allie drinks them all, so we're always out of them.
Yeah,
she only drinks the lemonade ones, and then they disappear, and I can never get any for myself.
Allie knows what's up, buddy. She knows what's up. Smart lady.
Yeah, try the
lemonade did go missing pretty quick.
I know, always.
They went missing pretty quick at SLC. Well, we had a pack and they didn't even make it through the first day. It was gone quick.
Yeah.
Quick.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah.
So freaking good.
Like Napoleon Dynamite with the tots coming out of their pockets, just LMNT lemonade just pouring out of everybody's pot. Ethan's got them just out of his pants. Everybody's trying to.
I'm not gonna lie. That was my monetary.
Lemonade's my favorite at the moment. Grapefruit was up there for a long time. You know what I've been liking lately a lot is orange. Orange I could drink continuously for a long period of time and not get sick of it. Where I feel like some of the other flavors I would get sick of and have to rotate. But orange is
that was what my first 2 supplies were orange, and it reminds me a lot of a store-bought brand. I'm not going to name them, but when I tried the orange element for the first time, I never went back to that store-bought brand ever again. I just specifically used the orange.
Was it kind of like an orange Gatorade but better?
Correct. It tastes the same minus
just a little less sweet. You know what I mean? The orange Gatorades, orange Gatorade probably is my favorite. Back in my old heyday when I used to drink Gatorade, but
ew.
Why? What would you say?
It's blue or green, dude.
Huh?
Oh, blue or green. Blue Gatorade or the green Gatorade?
No. Ugh.
I would say blue or red, but we're not no free promo. For
yeah.
Drink
No,
out,
yeah.
Well,
no free promo.
thinking back to it, it always tasted so artificial and disgusting, and so much freaking sugar.
Yes.
And now the problem is too, if you were to get maybe some of the newer ones that they make that claim that they have no sugar, all you have to do is read the other ingredients thing down at the bottom and tell me how many things that you recognize in that list. Chances are it's going to be 0.
Yeah. It's gnarly.
You know, it's just going to be every form of fake sugar that you can possibly imagine tossed in there. That's where they get you. When it says no sugar, be very careful. Read on the back of the label. It's not, when you read an ingredient thing, I don't have anything down here to create the example. You almost don't even have to bother reading that top part, which is where they try to put all your attention on. You go right down to the bottom where it says other ingredients. It's kind of in fine print down at the bottom. That is what will have all of the things that they sneak in that you have to be careful of them sneaking in. Like the stevia or dextrose or different ways to sweeten a product. Even when it says natural flavoring, you have to be really careful.
Yes.
Seed oils and all the different types of seed oils that they have. People claimed at one point that seed oils were good. Seed oils are not good to have in products. So there's little things you can watch for on the back of other ingredients down at the bottom, but that's how you would read a label. That's how I do, at least.
It's insane.
I've been super conscious of that the last year since hanging around you. We'll be on the flight and we'll get a pizza hot pocket with 100 million ingredients. Like, I do that every time I go out now. It's like, oh, this has got 60 grams of sugar for this little can. No way, right? So yeah, people just have to be conscious of what they're putting in their bodies, because it's pretty alarming what goes into that kind of stuff, and you have no idea.
Yeah, when you're 16, 18, 20, 22 years old, you probably won't notice it at all. Maybe sometimes it will manifest in the kids that are eating bad at that age, maybe just put on weight, right? But when you start to get older, 28, 30, 32, and older than that, just gets worse, you're going to notice an energy difference. So for me, it's still not even, I'm not worried about putting on weight. I don't think that that's ever going to be an issue for me. Unfortunately, I wish I could, but it's an energy difference. I will feel like garbage if I have something like that, or even drink something that has junk in it that it shouldn't. Certain airlines are getting better, but you do have to be ultra careful. Most of the airlines, any snack that you get, and the water is horrible too. So you're supposed to drink spring water instead of purified water. So purified water has chlorine and different types of stuff that basically wipes out any value, any electrolyte, anything that was once in that water. Spring water is going to be a better bet.
For sure. Yep. 1000%.
And a lot of times when I get on a flight, if I forgot water, which I never do, but if I forgot water, I won't drink Dasani. Yeah, I don't mean to be like a water snob, but I won't drink it. It just makes me feel more thirsty.
Same. Yep.
And I don't know if that's placebo at this point or nocebo, but yeah. Anyhow, Ethan, keep us on the rails. Do we want to do coaching wand first, or do we want to do podcast questions?
Up to you. I have coaching wanted now, so it might just be easier to get in the flow of it, and then we can bang off a couple podcast questions at the end. I think that'd be
cool.
Our best bet.
All right, let's do that. And Dave, feel free to absolutely give any opinions that you have when you're watching these. These are coaching wanted, which means that it's inside of the Moto Academy app, where you can post the community feed with your riding footage. And the hashtag is simply, it's our way of giving it a name and a brand, essentially, coaching wanted, but an easy way for the coaches to access the laundry list of these posts. So what's wicked cool is that I think that this will show off some of and highlight our riders inside of the app, which is epic. It will highlight how many different demographic of riders that we have, where everybody is from. I mean, there's people from absolutely everywhere. In fact, I think this first clip is of Keychain Zhang, which we still didn't figure out. Is that how you say it or not? I don't know. Who's placing bets? I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. What would you guess, Ethan? Because Dave took his guess, but Ethan, what would you say?
Honestly, I'm gonna take a step back from this one. I don't want to. Yeah, AJ. I think AJ got it.
It's either Keychain or Keychain.
We'll have to do a pretty early morning live stream to pull him on and see if he can hop on with us and let us know.
Yeah,
I'm not too sure, to be honest with
somebody help. But he's from China. That I know for sure. And play this clip. Play this clip. Wait till you guys see this track. So this is a brand new track in China that they built that is free to the public. Can we get volume too? Will the volume work by chance or no?
I can. Can you hear it?
No.
Can
you pop it into full screen?
Can we full screen?
Yeah.
There we go. Perfect.
All right. So no volume on this. Maybe we could figure that out for next time. But yeah, a little shredder on a 65. Shout out Keychain.
Yeah.
Look at the rhythm section. This track looks like a blast. Play from the beginning. Watch this bull turn. Just
great momentum.
Shredding.
Yeah.
Now, there was another clip, I don't know if it's in the same video or not, where it's a different angle of that same bull turn, and he got that double out of the corner. In this clip, he doesn't do it. What I would say is he's a pretty darn good jumper, honestly. Yes. Especially when you have obstacles that are back to back to back like that. You have to let it roll through one more time, Ethan. You have to really, really focus on keeping knees back. I think the corner was pretty good. Inside foot might have went out for a second there, but kind of came back on. Just trying to keep the knees back, which is going to start at the feet. So he maybe looked a little bit flat-footed, and so you can see the jarring effect of like that first jump when he landed with the flat feet and with the knees kind of jarring forward a little bit. So this is very common, by the way. There's two main issues when people hit jumps. I either see the upper bodies that fall back, or I see the lower bodies that fall forward. Dave, anything that you see, good or bad? Other than him absolutely railing this corner.
Yeah, when you have a corner like that, where you can carry momentum, or you can rail it like this, that berm was just beautiful. I'd say just be a little bit quicker with the eyes. I feel like if he had his eyes up just a little bit quicker because he's carrying so much speed, he might have felt like he had enough time to set up and get that double out, or sorry, double into the section. So that'd be my only critique. But yeah, I saw knees a little bit, but man, what a solid section, man. This is really
it looks
really
like
cool to see little rippers. Yeah.
Well, so awesome. the other clip of him railing that corner and hitting that double in, it's actually a little bit scary to watch because he hits the double with so much speed that I had to warn him. All of our coaches respond to these in the app, so he's already got a response in this video. I had to warn him, be careful of your exit speed out of that corner, because the way that jump is built, it's actually too short and steep, and you're going to end up getting kicked into an endo. So yeah, I actually said the track might want to reconsider the way that jump is built, being after such a crazy high speed berm like that. Yeah. But shout out Keychain, looking solid.
Shout out.
Looking solid. Shout out China, Moto Academy China. He said that our videos, I think I said this last podcast episode, but our videos in China are starting to take off a little bit, which is cool.
That's awesome.
Who is this? When you pull the clips up, Ethan, if you can, because I am and Dave's probably the same. I'm far enough from my computer where I can't read I can't see the name. I can't read anything. I can see the clip, but I can't read anything.
Yeah. Same.
So this is Chance Lagarde. He said, second time riding after a 20-year break. Ooh. Forgot how much fun this sport is! ! Hashtag coaching wanted. So this was just posted this morning, which is cool.
Oh, awesome. So I haven't responded to this one yet then.
Nope.
Good for him coming back to it, man. That's amazing.
Yeah, huge. Cool. 450 it sounds like. I got volume on that a little bit on the Honda. It sounded like a 450.
Yeah, it's definitely a 450.
Pretty good through the rollers. Keeping that back tire on the ground, pumping through the roller is really nice. Like no jarring movements, no slamming through them at all. It actually looked like kind of like BMX soaking up. On the jump from here, again, I'm just slightly too far away from this screen. Looks like his knees go forward. So Chance, the goal. I'm going to pull this closer while I'm doing this. Now I can see. Play it through one more time. Yeah. So I would say
Knees.
it's hard to tell because he has black gear on where his hips
A little
are,
bit of
but
a rounded back, it
Chance,
seems
your
like, too.
hips, your back is really rounded because your hips are tucked under, and your hips are tucked under because your knees are too far forward. So yeah, right. Pause it, leave it right here. Well, let it go a little further. Yeah, right here is fine. And the goal here, the simple fix would be sink your heels a little bit, drive the knees back, and then pretend that somebody has a pointer finger on both sides of your hip socket and just pushing your hips back. You got to drive your hips back, trying to get into that anterior tilt a bit more while keeping your head where it is. And what that'll do is that will evenly distribute the weight across the bike. You jumping like this, let it go a couple more frames. What's going to start to happen is the bigger the jump, the more the bike's going to float out from underneath you. And you'll just end up in an air wheelie. This jump was small enough to where you're able to land, not quite front tire first like how you would have wanted, but you didn't quite land back tire first. That jump were 20 feet longer and you did that body position, you're going to start getting that loop out effect. For sure. Cool. Yeah, good to have you back.
Kudos, man.
Chance,
That's
I
so
will
cool.
Comment back to that in Coaching Wanted tomorrow morning when I get to it. Did we have one more? Did we have no, or Indy? Yeah. Indy Berg. So shout out Indy. Indy was at Salt Lake with us for the week, and then he shortly thereafter broke his arm. So he is healing up from a broken arm as we speak, but he's been hyperactive in the app in the meantime, which is what you should do. If you get hurt, study. So what is this? He said, could you help with some tips on scrubs? Okay. Cool. So, I mean, wicked far away. Now, the positive of this is you can tell that Indy just set this camera up. That's him riding back right there. You can tell that he set the camera up himself to do this. Do that. Because that's usually the excuse I get is, AJ, I would love to send you footage, but I'm always, nobody's at the track with me. I show up to the public track and I'm by myself. Set your camera up. Give it to somebody else. Ask them to film you for a second. Great speed coming in. That sounded like fourth gear or third gear, pretty much on it. You could tell he coasted that last little bit, which is nice. You can also see, and you're replaying at the perfect spot, Ethan, right when he gets to the bottom of the jump face, he's getting his hips off the side of the bike and he's leading with the hips, which when I scrub clutch side down, that's what I do. I let my hips go first, then I snap the bike with my knees and my upper body to follow. So it's a little far away. It's a bit hard to see in this clip, but that looks like it's very much, you're on the right track. You're doing the right things. Dave, is there anything that you see, positive or negative?
No, I think that was good. A lot of people, they tend not to coast either. Like when you're starting to learn to scrub, they stay on the gas, which is really hard to like put in your head. You almost have to go a little bit faster than you think you would, and then you coast it. So all the pieces are there, and it looks like it's just a matter of just getting that repetition down and starting to really trust that flick, like you talked about in a lot of the videos in TMA. And really understanding how that feel and return comes back, but all the pillars are there. Yeah,
totally. And Indy's an amazing one as far as the best questions at Salt Lake City. And you want to pull up the next? Did you get the freeze frame of him? So like right after, I mean, this is within the last couple of days. Look at, he's got the cast on bike on the stand in the garage at home, and just trying to master the attack position. Study. It's riders like that they might progress slowly because they're very maybe potentially analytical and calculated, but they'll never hit the ceiling. They'll just continue to get a little better, because they're inquisitive and they just want to learn as much as they can. And shout out to Indy, because you embody that type of personality, which is cool. And you can see our coaching responses on the right. Yeah. Yep. Super cool. So, oh no. Here we go. This one's from Dave Drakes. What does it look like to just get absolutely your doors blown off on a straightaway?
Okay, I just want to say doors weren't blown off, and this was after like 1,000 laps that we were doing. This is like our cool down. So I just want to say that right now. Okay.
So Dave's on the Cowie. I'm on the Yamaha, and I'm pretty sure Coach Mitchell is on the Honda in front of us, which Coach Mitchell's technique looks completely different than this video is very old. No, Dave, you're right. I didn't blow your doors off. Actually, you could tell I pushed through this section hard and I still barely caught you. So that's impressive. Like if you replay it back to that middle jump, what Dave did a really good job of is you landed right at the tippity top. Good sitting down to get the drive. Good sitting down to get the drive. That's not even laziness. Yeah, that's. I'm just trying to get that grunt down the landing where you can see where I lost a little speed on this second jump right here. I overshot it a little bit.
Long.
Yeah.
But what I hate is on that last triple, you got a much better scrubbing than I did. That flick, dude, I think you got me like the corner after that one, or maybe even that corner, because like you just carried so much momentum into that in that triple face.
Yeah, but I was on a better side of that jump to do that too. I think looking at the jump face, if you look at the far right, it looks steeper. You can see it right there, right where Ethan's mouse is. It just goes up and it's steeper. Where I was on the side that it was just kind of nobody had hit that side yet, so it didn't have any kicker formed yet, and I was just able to scrub it super hard.
Yeah,
but what year would you guess that was? Because that was a Rye helmet. I mean, that was.
Oh,
that was probably 19.
Was I in a bell? I think that was 20.
20?
20 or 21 maybe.
Wow, it feels like a lifetime ago. Play it through one more time.
Doesn't it? Crazy, dude. My goal was to stay with you for at least a lap, but I think I only ended up being like a three-quarter.
And watch me in the corner. Go back to the beginning again, because what I do in the corner is kind of cool. That's not a mistake. I tried to cut down because I had to get back to the left-hand side. So you can see me do a hard pivot and a hard acceleration. Ethan's just getting whiskey fire in the cliffs. And I don't even know who's. It almost looks like Aiden's bike, but I know it's not Aiden's bike.
No. This was Minnesota.
Yeah. Meadow Valley. Shout out Meadow Valley. Cool. Coaching wanted. So yeah, if you guys want to send in your riding footage, send it in. Get in the Moto Academy app. All you have to do is be part of the $9.99, the community tier, which is our least expensive subscription, to have access to that, which is crazy. We almost shouldn't do it that way because it's like too much value potentially, but yeah, get in there, send in your riding footage, use the hashtag coaching wanted when you do to make sure that we don't miss it. Cool. All right. Are we going to dive into, amazing. Oh, it's amazing.
We got a handful of podcast questions here. Yep.
Cool. So we'll do some podcast questions. We'll try to keep this episode under an hour 10. So we'll go 5-10 more minutes. Also, my computer's at 4% battery. So.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. We'll lose AJ.
Yeah.
We're going to lose AJ.
Shout out.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Definitely going to lose me. So Ethan, if you want to, I feel like it'd be a cool dynamic if you read the questions out loud and then we can answer them.
Yeah. So first up, we have a question from Evan Beecher. Awesome kid. AJ, knowing what you do now, what would you do and how long would it take for you to go pro if you had to start over riding dirt bikes?
Oh,
good question.
Yeah, I like questions like that too. Knowing what I know now. Okay, that's the key to that question. Well, knowing what I know now, I would play it like it's a marathon and not a sprint. And I would also, in that, you wouldn't catch me comparing myself to anybody. The two things that I think killed me the worst were comparison to others. The entire journey along the way, from the time I was 8 years old, 12, 15, turning pro at 15, 16, 22, it was all a comparison. I was comparing timelines. I was comparing skill set. I was comparing talent. I was comparing speed,
lap times,
all of it.
Yeah.
And so what that did is that comparison made me rush, and it made me act desperately, and it made me very short-sighted and make decisions for today or tomorrow, instead of thinking about, okay, where do I want to be in 5 years? Where do I want to be in 10 years? That sounds like a simple and concept answer that's maybe a bit even general, but I mean it. When I say that those two things specifically, if you could learn to eliminate the comparison to others and understand that it is a long game that you're playing, and that is not to say that you should be justify procrastination or be lazy or do nothing, but you've got a lot of time, and if you start from the end and create the goals at the end, you can really chip away at it one day at a time. And I just didn't understand that. I was in survival. I was in survival. Yeah. What about you, Dave?
Oh man, I kind of have to agree. Yeah, I think just taking out the comparison aspect and the expectation to be something, I think that's what really can hinder a lot of people. And honestly, especially for you, AJ, if the expectation was taking out the comparison, which I kind of learned, I guess, in our whole friendship, kind of like more on the recent side that you had that comparison because I assume that like, oh, AJ knows he's badass, he's a great rider, he's winning everything. There would be no self confidence issues, or there'd be no comparison or anything like that. So knowing what I know now about AJ's plight and what he had to go through and stuff, the mental game, I'd say that's kind of like how I felt, and I know a lot of my buddies felt, and how we probably all feel. So I'd say that portion 100%, and I think enjoying it more, because it does become like a job when, especially if it's your dad and your mom are involved in the sport and you guys have a routine and you have to do good and you're expecting to win and progress. Taking the time to really enjoy what you're doing and enjoy riding your motorcycle, I think that pays off a lot too. It helps you have that longevity that AJ's talking about, that marathon race.
Yeah, totally. I will say, and everybody's different. For me, I was given that advice a lot of just have fun. I mean, who hasn't been given that advice? But I think that it can be really unhelpful advice, because the fun is sort of like happiness, where it's like, oh, just be happy. Well, I'm trying. I mean, what do you think I'm doing? So,
Yeah.
but happiness and fun, having fun with something, I do believe is the byproduct of taking the other steps to do everything else correctly. Right. So
Yeah.
eliminating expectation and all the other things that you just named is what will make you have more fun. I think if you're sitting there
Yeah.
going, oh, I'm just going to have fun, you could say that all day long, but if you're not executing the other steps,
You have a bad day.
you're not going to have fun. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
not going to have fun.
Yeah. It makes sense.
Evan,
Makes sense.
great question. Evan is
Awesome
younger
question.
too. Probably 16, 17 years old, maybe, if I had to guess. Probably younger,
Phenomenal
actually.
question.
Yeah. Great question. Cool.
All right, sweet. So next, Dave, we have a question for you from Mike and Andrew.
Okay.
Dave, how did you manage your own yet different success as you watched your little racing buddy take off to the pros without you? How did you manage the weird mental side of that as a teenager and drill down into your own path?
Oh gosh. That's a great question. Honestly, I just think different goals, man. Honestly, like, and I think my parents were really good about showing me that, like, when you have a friend, it's like family, which you kind of become anyway, because you're seeing each other every weekend, and like their successes, like you celebrate their successes, as like your own almost. So my dad was cheering for AJ just as hard as he cheered for me, and like all my other buddies, Luke Visconti and Matt Valenti, all these guys, like my parents, my family, we all cheered for each other so adamantly like that. So I think I just had different goals. I think it was very apparent. Like I'm not like breaking the news or anything. AJ was faster by a lot, so it wasn't like I had the same speed opportunity. Like if we were at a race,
Were the goals ever the same, or were the goals different from the beginning? Like if we were to rewind to age 14, like at age 14, were you saying I want to be a pro dirt bike rider? I feel like you weren't.
I really wasn't. I wanted to be a very successful dirt bike rider, but not necessarily pro. I wanted to go to a race and be able to be in the race and not be, 53 out of a 40-man gate. You know what I mean? I wanted to be somebody that could be like, oh yeah, Dave's the contender for a good position. I think that was my goal more so than I want to be professional.
Position. Yeah,
exactly. Because I enjoyed other aspects. I loved working on my bike. I loved art. I loved design, and thankfully it led to where I am now. But I just think my goals within the industry and the sport were just a little bit different. And I did, like, AJ would do good at Loretta's. I'm thinking like, Loretta's like 05, for example. Like AJ got back from that one, dude. I was so excited and so amped on that one. Or like his when he was in B class and stuff, dude, we were just like jaw jacking after the race. Like we were just so amped to see like the success, not so much like, oh man, AJ did good and I wanted to do good. It almost felt like a collective excitement. You know what I mean? So I think our goals were just a little bit different. But yeah, I think I knew the route I wanted to take with the sport. I didn't, I wasn't Like, oh, I want to be the next like Carmichael. I wanted to be a badass on a dirt bike, but not necessarily the top like that. So just a little bit different goals, I think.
Yeah, great question. Was that Mike and Andrew?
Yeah, shout out Mike and Andrew. Yeah, shout out.
Top members in the app, in case anybody was wondering.
Yeah. AJ's probably like, Dave had no shot of going pro, by the way.
So. Oh, by the way, after we hit a couple more coach or podcast questions, could you bring up top members and we'll shout out like the top 20?
Oh, yeah.
That would be
100%.
Cool. Because that changes all the time. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah.
100%. So this is our last mindset one. So I say we end off on this one and then we could do that.
Perfect. And we're at hour 8. Perfect. Yeah.
So this question is from Colton Brady. Just before SLC, I crashed and busted my collarbone and some ribs. Then this past Saturday, my son Gage crashed and broke his collarbone too. Now my wife is a bit freaked out and really pushing for us to find an alternative activity. We are both anxious to heal up and get back on the bikes, but I'm trying to balance being sensitive to her feelings and continuing to do what we love. Any thoughts or suggestions? #PodcastQuestions.
Ooh, man. Well, first of all, I hope you both heal up quickly. Second of all, I understand her perspective.
Yeah.
And my question back would be, well, how did you both crash? What did your crash look like? What did his crash look like? I know you guys are your OGs in this app. I don't want to say you should know better, but crashes happen, of course. You have to be hyper vigilant of when you're progressing, you almost have to consciously tell yourself to slow down throughout that progression. I had somebody actually at class at Joliet yesterday that they were on a KTM 250 scrubbing, like they looked like a mid-class B rider at a local event. Had only been riding a dirt bike, they're probably 15 years old, had only been riding a dirt bike for 4 months. And he looked like a mid-pack B rider on a KTM 250F, 15 years old, 16 years old. And he asked for advice, and I told him, I said, slow down. I said, your progression has been crazy quick. If you expect it to continue to be that quick, you will get hurt. I don't want to jinx you, but I guarantee you'll get hurt. So you have to check yourself on the progression and force yourself to slow down and not do silly things. That's a bummer. I wish I could see the crashes and how they each happen or hear the exact story. Maybe that could be a follow-up to this, but 99.999% of crashes are completely avoidable by you, right? It's very, very rare that it's a complete fluke that you ended up on the ground with an injury. It's almost always a lesson that you can learn and something that should have and could have potentially been pretty easily avoided. So to your wife that's feeling that way, I understand that you feel that way, but I think that this sport isn't just, it's not dangerous in that you can take all the measures that you need to take and be safe. You can. I don't remember the last time I was hurt. I don't remember the last time that I even had something aching at all. And I ride every week. Now I don't ride for long extended periods of time, but I'm on different tracks on different people's bikes, which is technically all of those variables that would add extra danger to it. And I never hurt myself. So I used to back when I did it the wrong way, but anything you'd want to add to that, Dave?
No, I mean, it's also tough because I went through this with my mom also. Yeah, the crashes. I mean, it happens. We picked a sport that that's something that can happen. But I had battled this with my mom in my racing. For a long time. It's like, why you keep getting hurt? You need to stop. And it wasn't until I focused on fundamentals that it became a little bit better. And I think once I started involving my mom in it too a little bit, she kind of understood like how cool of a sport it was and how much it afforded me in the way of like social and like all these friends and great people and opportunities. And I know that helped for sure. But yeah, taking it back to fundamentals and making sure that you're doing everything possible to stay safe on the bike and letting her know also that there are methods that we can implement to stay exponentially safer on this sport. But really any sport you do, you can get hurt. I mean, people are getting hurt playing football. People are getting hurt swimming. People are getting hurt doing BMX. It really, I think coming in with the mindset that you're never going to get hurt is not the right one. But I think doing those 3 things I talked about, I think that can help with this situation for sure.
Yeah, because I think if you have the outlook of, okay, well, he told me if you do technique right, but then it's still potentially dangerous and you still potentially could get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then that's when, Dave, what you just said, well, you can get hurt doing any of the above. So, I mean, you could get killed riding a road bike on the street, a bicycle on the street.
Yes.
Like and I know many people that have got killed riding a bicycle on the street. You could get tear your ACL playing basketball, pickup game at the YMCA. You could tear your ACL. I mean, you can get hurt doing absolutely anything. So if you start to go down that rabbit hole of thinking, then that can be not really healthy either, because then where do you draw that line? You just got to be calculated. But Colton, heal up. Tell your son heal up quickly, and
for sure.
Hopefully that answer was somewhat helpful, I guess. Okay, here we go. So shout out Coaching Wanted, shout out Podcast Questions. Thank you guys for always sending those in. Use those hashtags if you're sending them in. Now, top members. So inside of the app, this updates all the time but basically a few times a day. This will update itself.
It's competitive too. It's competitive, man.
Oh yeah, I mean, for those who don't know, Driver Jamie was #1 for
forever.
Like years on years on years, and Q1, I think early Q1, maybe late Q1 this year, everybody just started going crazy, and Jamie got, no offense, but he dropped. He's top 5 now. He's not even first.
Driver Jamie held the top spot in our app for the longest time, and then it's been a battle between. Honestly, lately it's been a battle between Burt Bellinger and Austin Bott. But has Burt been at the top for a while, because his engagement in the app is absolutely next level.
He's definitely dominating right now. I know anytime I put out a post or drop a comment, within 30 seconds, boom, Burt is on top of it with a like or a comment back. Like Burt he's in there like swimwear, as they would say.
Yeah, he's hitting Coaching Wanteds. He's hitting Podcast Questions. He's in the live chat. He's absolutely everywhere. But so is Austin. So shout out Austin. So like every time I go in to answer Coaching Wanted questions, he's already in there using those hashtags. Staying super active. No surprise to see Real GP in the top 3. That's huge. Wow, look at me in 4th. Come on. I didn't think I'd be that high up, to be honest.
Driver Jamie.
You jumped. I remember when I was really in it, you were like top 10. You've made quite the improvement.
Yeah, so I've been a consistent top 10 guy, but I haven't been a top 5 guy consistently in a while. So I will say the last couple weeks I've been pretty darn wide open in the app. Driver Jamie rounding out the top 5. Shout out Driver Jamie. He's not at the top, but hey, top 5 is strong performance. Mike and Andrew in 6th.
Shout out.
Super solid. Matthew Giffing in 7th. Shout out to Matt. I see him in there absolutely all the time, posting Coaching Wanted. Super cool. YZ So Slow in 8th. Shout out YZ So Slow. His improvement the last couple of years has been ridiculous on the bike. Ball 328 and Coach Ty.
Look at that
rounding
guy.
out the top 10. Coach Ty. He's been active. He's hitting a ton of Coaching Wanteds. He's hitting a ton of posts in the community feed. He's been wide open with it. Looped out Leatherman in 11th. We got Jordan still hanging out in the top 12. Unbelievable. Who else? Coach Alessandro. Alex Panda. What are we at now? Is that 15th?
It should be 14.
Alex Panda in 14th. So shout out UK members. Also looped out. Wait, go back up quick. I didn't see Mark 24 yet, did I? Okay, so Alex Panda, 14th. We got King Friday in 15th. King Friday was at Oregon, so I got to see him for the first time at class 2 weeks ago. He's been an OG app member, and when I saw him, I'm like, hang on, have I actually met you in person yet? And he goes, nope, first time at class. Dave Drakes. What is this for? 16th?
16th, yes, sir.
16th for Dave Drakes. We got Max Pena. Pena, don't know how to say it still. Let me know. Max AZ, he's from TMAZ member.
Shout out.
So we know all those TMAZ members are super active. We got Jackson in there in the top 20, and then rounding out the top 20, Moto from New York. Not surprised. He's the Moto Academy mascot. Moto is unbelievable. Let's do a couple other shout outs. Let's go back to 30th here. We got Christian from the Netherlands. We've got Mark24 from the UK. These are OGs of OGs. We got Marshall Demps. He's been killing it on the Yamaha lately, doing a bunch of classes. We've got Kyle17 also killing it, also doing a bunch of classes. RMZ Tracy. Pops the Outlaw. So look at this app isn't just for the young guns. We've got, I guess that RMZ Tracy and Pops the Outlaw both got to be pushing plus 50 probably. Got to be, right?
Yeah.
Vernon Knowles.
Just 50. We'll say 50.
We'll just say 50. We don't want to guess too high. Vinny Scafidi. We got the Italians out there leading the charge. Lives in New York, but he's got to be Italian. We got Jake S out there.
He's funny enough, he lives right across the river from me.
Does he?
Seriously?
Which is pretty, like, literally 10 minutes away from me. I had no idea.
Can we just shout out TMA New York, because I feel like every time we talk about something, it's just growing in popularity. The community out there and the tracks are awesome. So shout out
TMA NE. So we have a TMA New England, but we don't have a TMA New York yet. And technically speaking, New York is not a part of New England. So Ethan, maybe you should note that. I think we need a TMA New York.
I think
I'm happy to lead the charge on that. I'm a proud New York resident. I will gladly.
I feel like EQ is an honorary New Englander though. Like if I think about going home,
I've spent enough time.
I think about going to Albany and seeing my boy EQ. So
yeah, but I always get confused because depending on where you live in New York, I consider you a New Englander sometimes, right? But
same. Yep.
Technically speaking,
I'd say like any south of where EQ's from, you're New York, dude. EQ and up, we're with us.
Yeah, I mean I'm like an hour from Massachusetts and Connecticut, so I'm like pretty central to a bunch of stuff.
Exactly.
So we'll throw New England in there.
Yep.
I'm happy to be an honorary member.
So shout out top members. If you guys want to get yourself onto that list, get yourself a shout out in the podcast. That top members list is completely based on engagement all across the board. So that could be being in live streams. That could be leaving comments on people's posts, liking people's posts, sending direct messages. Anything.
Live chat.
So anytime you're in the live chat, messaging people in the live chat, which is just our 24/7 chat, absolutely any engagement that you do inside of that app is going to boost you in the rankings. So this would be a fun way we could just end it with that every time. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah.
And then it would kind of incentivize people to get active, and we can just shout out top 20, top 30 each time. And we'll see how much parity there is and people bumping each other out. Cool. We've done an hour and 20 minutes in. First one done live with Ethan and live produced, which I think will level it up quite a bit. I think for you, those of you that watch it, which are a lot of you, whether it be in the app or on YouTube, it should make it a million times better. And I think even without, just keeps us on the rails a little bit more. So I don't see how it could hurt. Episode 154. Thanks, boys. We've done it. Toodaloo.